Yeah, so now that the cat's out of the bag and I can reveal everything, the first time I went to China because I spent about a week with TenZ to
Ooh.
actually record all the footage that you saw from the Wooting ATHE 10th Takeover edition.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, imagine I get hired, and a few months later, I get told I have to travel to China in order to film with TenZ.
TenZ.
I'm
That
like,
is that is actually crazy if you think about it. I mean, you were technically the cameraman, right?
I was.
Yeah.
Um, I was the cameraman along with Sander. Of course, we also worked on miking up tents, all the photo shoot stuff. There was a lot of crazy stuff that went down
Mm-hmm.
during that week, but it was a crazy experience. And what's funny is, by the way, I wasn't starstruck at all because I didn't know who Tens was. I only
What?
knew that.
What? No way, man.
Yeah, because I wasn't overly familiar with Valorant, so
Uh-huh.
I knew he was a good player, but I had no idea he was the goat, basically. So, when I met him, it was just like, hey, what's up? And we had
Just,
dinner together, and
yeah, just a casual conversation with someone who happens to be one of the greatest players in Valorant. Okay, okay.
yeah, and you know what's funny, by the way? I was over there with my boss, Calder,
Shout out to Calder.
who very kindly said, well, actually, our content creator is a pro Osu player. And so Tens was asking me, wait, you're good at Osu? And I'm like, well,
Oh.
yeah, I used to be pretty good. And so he asks me, well, what was your peak rank? And I'm like, top 100. And Tens goes, holy shit, you were a top player. Oh my God, what?
No
So
way.
he was asking me for advice on how to play Osu.
What? That is that is that is interesting. That is an interesting story. Okay, okay. Shout out to Tens,
And
I guess.
shout out to Tens, of course.
Yeah.
But it was so funny. And a few months ago, I actually went to Poland for Kel 4, which is an also Polish LAN, which I'm pretty sure you were also there in the chat watching the matches. It was
From time
absolute
to time,
cinema.
yeah. Yeah. That
But
was absolute cinema, man. Yeah.
yeah, and I was talking to Shiba, the Osu commentator, the Osu caster, who also always casts the Osu World Cup, and he's a huge Valorant fan. So as soon as we were just talking, and I casually mentioned, "Oh yeah, Tens, I know that guy. I met him," and he's like, you met Tens? Oh, and I'm like, yes, I didn't know who he was. I'm sorry. I don't know.
Bro was probably flabbergasted and disappointed you didn't know who he was.
I think he was actually so cool with that because I imagine he has a lot of fanboys or people who are kind of starstruck. But
Yeah,
I
yeah.
just I just acted like some guy. Hey, what's up, man?
Yeah, I
It was
mean
a good time. It was a
that
good
is an
time.
awesome story. That is a really awesome story. Just casually talking with Tens and him being amazed about your also skills. That is like
That's unbelievable
that
stuff
that,
right
that
there.
is
Put that in my
actually
resume.
right there, bro, in your resume.
But
Okay.
so that's one thing, right?